Hey everybody, it's Samantha from Samantha's Designs. We're going to be doing another Easter card today. This one right here with the little peeps. I'll show you how to do this and let you know where everything came from. But the grass and the Happy Easter was cut out on my Cricut, so we'll talk about that a little bit as well. So I can't wait to show you how I made my peeps. All right, so let's get started. 5.5 by 4.25, so 5.5 by 4.25 piece of white cardstock. Using some Distress ink to make my clouds. This is Broken China Distress ink, and using my ink blending tool. I'm trying to kind of keep this light on this other example over here that I just showed you. I did like a little stencil using some cloud cutouts from the Cricut, and I'm going to use these actually on this card, the cutouts themselves, like they are with that little bit of blue on them, but I didn't really like that so much, so trying something a little different. Again, just a little bit of light color here at the top. Okay, and then when I was going through my stamps, I noticed I had a cloud stamp by Verve, and I think it's their Up and Away collection. This was actually part of a collection that I won, or that I picked as my winning gift from Mojo Monday blog challenge that they do, because I won. It's the only thing I've ever won doing challenges, but so this is really cool for me because this was the first thing I ever won like that. I was so excited. So I'm going to just put a few here and there. Try to figure out what that looks. Don't know that looks really natural considering I put them kind of in a row, and I was trying not to do that. But I add a little bit more. That makes it look a little more realistic. Okay, so now putting my little face back in there. I'll show you that in a minute. Let's put on these. These have a straight edge at the top, so you can then put them down, and that will give it a little bit more of a dimensional look to it. So I'm just going to put these on with a little bit of my tape runner. And these particular clouds that I did were the cloud itself and its shadow, so I really enjoyed these. I thought these were really cute. Alright, so that's kind of the top part of your scene that you're making. Now, I decided with my peeps, because this is something I cut out a long time ago, weeks ago, if you saw that video. But this is fun foam. I made 2 cutouts using my Cricut of fun foam into this little peep shape, and I'm using that as a stamp today. So I think I figured this out watching a Jennifer McGuire video maybe, or something, but she used die cuts and fun foam, doubled them up, used them as a stamp, and I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. I could do that with my Cricut too. So that's where the peeps are coming from, and I just use a pencil to kind of eyeball where I'm going to be putting my peeps, because I don't want them too close to each other, and then I can come back and just erase that. So, but before, so I'll do those next. I'm using some Stampin' Up! Coastal Cabana for the peeps themselves. So I just ink it up. Doesn't have to be perfect. This is, this is not going to be the clean edge like most stamps that you have in your stash, because you made it yourself. It's made out of fun foam. It's got lumps and bumps in it. But it's too stinking cute regardless not to do this. And I did use this same peep cutout last year on a card, but it wasn't this design itself, and my eraser is coming off, but that's okay. Just gonna get rid of my pencil lines. Okay, Now I have a little cute little set that has a happy face on it, and it is from Lon Fawn's Milk and Cookies, where you can give the glass of milk a face or whatever. It's really, really a cute set. But I use the face part, the eyes and the mouth from it, for other things like this. It just gives my peeps a bit of a more realistic look. So there's my two peeps all stamped, put together. Okay, so I'm going to use Evergreen Brown Distress Ink, and I use it on this grass that I made using my Cricut. Because the cardstock I'm using has a white core, the white core shows a little bit, and this, oh, I'm not even using my phone, that was crazy, what am I doing? Anyway, the joys of doing this without editing. I'm just putting a little bit on the tips of the grass. I think it makes it stand out a little bit better, and then it covers that little bit of white core that you see. Okay. I sized this so that it would be the right height, and I do that in a Cricut. And I'll link below a video by Lori Newmaker, where she shows how she just takes a plain 5.5 by 4.25 rectangle to really decide dimensions of what she wants to put on her card when she's using Cricut. And I've since always done that, and it is amazing. It makes it a lot easier, because I always found when I was doing it without doing it that way, I would size things way too big. So that has helped me tremendously. So to put on my grass, I have 2.5 of the same cutout, and what I do is I just put a complete line of my tape runner at the bottom, put on my first row of grass. Okay, now this has a little tab, so you're going to have to add a little bit of glue at the very end of that tab before you put down your next. And I just kind of eyeball where it looks like the grass would land to be more, I guess, realistic. And then the last one, do the same thing. Okay. And I have gotten ink smudges on this, so it looks like it's got a little smudgy, but that's okay. You see, my fingers get all inky when I play with ink. But I love it that way. Okay, so on the back, I'm just going to cut off the excess. Okay. Get that out of the way. And now all is left is my Happy Easter. Now my Happy Easter, again, is a cutout from using the Cricut. I took Wink of Stella on this prior to videoing to make it a little more sparkly. And then I'm going to use a little bit of picked raspberry, again, because of the white core showing through. I just want to put a little bit of ink on it as well on the edges that I can get to. This is, you can't get all of this because of how delicate of a cutout this is, but at least cover up a little bit of the core that is showing. Also, I think it just adds a little bit more interest. And like I said, you can't get everything because this is such a delicate little cutout. But that's okay. So we're done with this, and now I need my little handy dandy tweezers and my I have some Ranger Distress Collage Medium, or you could use anything that you really want to, glossy accents, you name it, to put this on. But I use wet glue, and I usually, does not have the fine tip that I see a lot of people use. That's something I need to add to my sash, but I just add little dots here. Try to do a little bit everywhere just because I want this to sit down nicely. And the nice thing about this is it dries matte, and it also doesn't dry sticky. So if you have a huge cloud like I do on this one, it won't be quite so bad. Okay, so I'm going to put this, and it's going to overlap the clouds and things, and that's fine. And I just use my tweezers to tap this down into place. Now, I pre-made my base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. It's not a top folding card, it's a side folding card. But this is what we're going to put the little scene on. Before we do that, I am going to use, I love my distress inks, can you tell? I'm going to use a little bit more of the broken china just to distress the edges of this card. Since everything else up here is kind of distressed a little bit, I just think it adds a little something, brings it kind of all together. And I have a habit of putting these things back in their little homes underneath the cubes, so I won't lose them. I'll know what goes with what. Also, I did this with the last one as well. I am going to cut this just a tiny smidge. So I'm going to cut the top, and I just slice through all the layers. That's making my cloud kind of do weird things, but that's okay. If I need to, I will take it off and place it back on. There we go. You may need just a little bit of glue underneath it because it wants to kind of pop up. There we go. Alrighty, that's done, fixed. And then I'm going to take off a little bit off an edge as well. Thinking this edge, I'm going to do both. Just kind of eyeballing that. I'm not really, again, I'm not a big measurer. And if it's not up there perfect, I'm okay with that. Because for me, it's about the pleasure of the process, not being completely straight and perfect all the time. Because I'm not straight and perfect all the time either. So, why would my cards be? That's kind of how I feel about it. Anyway, alright, so then place it down on my card base. And there you have it. Totally cute. Thanks for stopping by and watching. Have a great day. Bye.